Hi there, good afternoon. I'm Sheelagh Maria. I am a psychic medium and it is wonderful to be with you. Today's video is called How Long is a Soulmate Contract Supposed to Last? I very get often requests wanting to know if somebody is their soulmate. And very often what's going on is that the dynamic is very off and on, and the individual doesn't really know where they stand. And very often the only way they can cope with that is by telling themselves that it's a soulmate, that they've spent past lives together, and that for their means that they're going to work it out in this life. That is not the case. So first of all, we want to clarify the difference between a soulmate contract and a karmic soulmate that you've met. So you're much older than you know yourself to be. You're much younger as well. And you've lived hundreds of thousands of lives, not just on Earth, but in many other places. And you've incarnated as types of beings that our mind could not even begin to think of. Some of those lives were collective lives where you operated as part of one mind, and some of those lives you were literally part of the energy of that planet. So the lifetimes that you had a personality, an identity, the reason that you incarnate anywhere and have a singular personality or an identity is when there is personal growth that benefits the whole. So this is the same for domestic pets. They have soul contracts with their owners. They have soul contracts with the families that rescue them. They have soul contracts with certain members of the family. And you'll often see this with dogs that have like a favourite person. So soulmate contracts are not just limited between humans. They can be between animals and humans, and even places. Certainly on Earth. So you can have what's called a living location contract, where you actually have agreed to live in a certain place because of what will happen as a result of you living there. So a soul contract lasts for as long as growth occurs, until one party reaches the maximum growth that they can. Now, there are 12 soul types. Baby souls and sleeping souls and working souls within a soulmate dynamic, which is any kind of friendship, any kind of romantic relationship, reach their maximum growth within 2 years. So if you are in an on-again, off-again relationship and after 2 years it's still on-again and off-again, if it is a soulmate, it's probably because they're a sleeping soul or what we call a working soul. If you're watching this, you're likely to be a light worker soul or an angel soul. They've reached their maximum capacity. And when that happens, they can't learn anymore. And at a higher level, it may not end, but it may not become any more than it is right now. So going back to whether it's even a soulmate is somebody that comes from a soul that you know, and you've got a contract to grow through each other's energy this time. So what I see a lot of people do is meet people that they've had soul contracts with, often many, many times in other lives. But that soul still reached the maximum growth that they could. And so it didn't pan out anymore in those lives because it was never going to. And you meet them in this life, and they are what we call a karmic soulmate. That means it's done, you've settled the bill, you've learnt as much from each other as you ever can, and even though there is often an initial attraction and then a very strong sense of familiarity, it's not going to be any more than that. Just because you've been together before, it doesn't mean you're supposed to be together this time. And that's not easy, but that is something that my guides have asked me to share. Now, soul contracts have to be loving to continue. And I will often see people in toxic relationships hoping against hope that it will work out in the end. If it's toxic in the first 2 years, it will carry on being toxic. I hate to tell you. And what I will say to you is that very often, if there is an addiction at play, or there is a degree of insecurity or paranoia, very often that individual has got a lot of attachments with them that are causing them to continue in those behaviours, and your higher self will actually abdicate the relationship, meaning that your ability to withstand the treatment that you're getting begins to take a greater toll on you emotionally. So I've had this happen, and the person had very narcissistic, and I wanted to stay with them no matter what. I'd have done anything, and I managed 9 years. My higher self saw it was killing me. And my higher self basically made it so that every time I saw them, I got physically sick. I literally couldn't be around them. So your higher self will abdicate an agreement if you won't act. No soul contract can last less than 1 month. Anything less than this, you may be meeting someone that you had lives with, but your balance is settled. So if you're in an on-again, off-again relationship within the first few weeks, it's karmic, it's not supposed to grow. One of the biggest signs that you have ongoing work to do is that you both feel that you want to have your say. If you feel like you need to have your say, not from a closure point of view, I often get this, that the lady will say, but I want closure. And because it's a karmic connection, no closure is necessary. The man sensed it and has moved on. But if you feel like you need them from an emotional perspective to understand your point of view, if there's an emotional feeling that you need to put your point across because emotionally you're not being understood, that is a sign you've still got ongoing work together. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can check how many soul contracts are active with that person. So the maximum amount of contracts that we will have with one person romantically is 50. If you have got less than 15 contracts with someone, it's done. If you've got any more than 20, it's ongoing. And you can just do yourself a little pendulum chart, 5, 10, 15, 20, up to 50. And you can say, Archangel Michael, show me how many necessary soul contracts do I have with whoever it is. So the rule of thumb is 15 or less, you're done. 15 or more, it's ongoing. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you would like to find out more about your spirit, your guides, your gifts, your origins, your purpose, why not check out the Spirit Centre? So the Spirit Centre is my online membership community where you will either benefit from lots and lots of psychic classes, soul growth activations, or you will benefit from all of those plus a monthly personal reading and an exclusive activation that not everybody else will get, and there's a silver membership and a gold membership. The classes will be live on Monday, and there's going to be new classes added every single month. So do feel free to join me there. We would love to have you. And if you sign up for the gold option, you get a monthly personal reading. You also get a monthly activation. You also get a free 1-card reading as your sign-up gift from me. And that's with the gold option. I'm going to send you lots of love. And if you like this, would you share and subscribe? I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I love you very much, and goodbye for now.